The locomotive hauling our train is one of the 89 RE66 machines purchased during the 1970s from SLM, with electrical equipment provided by Brown Boveri. It was designed as a workhorse to tackle the mountain routes, and their Bobobo wheel arrangement was selected to give smooth running on curves as well as providing good adhesion. Though 2 of the 4 prototypes were produced with hinged bodies, the production locomotives were made with rigid frames. These are the most powerful locomotives on any railway in Europe, with a power rating of over 10,000 horsepower and a maximum speed of 140 kilometers per hour. Biasca station is dominated by the impressive Santa Petronila Falls, the waters of which descend almost 1,800 meters from a lake lying in the mountain chain behind the village. After Biasca, we enter the Leventina Valley and our track steepens, with the ruling gradient becoming 1 in 37. In the days of steam, coal and water were taken on here, and a second locomotive was added to assist with the climb. Our train crosses the River Ticino over a modern concrete span, but a short distance up the valley 2 aged stone pack-horse bridges bear witness to the importance of the village of Giornico as a transit point on the old Gotthard Pass road. Here travellers could rest at the local inns. The facade of the Casa Stanga still bears the coats of arms of distinguished former guests. Painting is not just confined to secular buildings in Giornico. The 12th century church of St. Nicholas, one of the finest Romanesque structures in the canton, has colourful wall paintings dating back to the 15th century. A pictorial Bible from the days before the ability to read was widespread. After Amblipiota, the wooded mountainside is bisected by the track of a remarkable cable railway. This funicular, operated by the SBB, lies beside the Ritom hydroelectric power station, which has generated current for the south ramp of the Gotthard line since 1920, the first facility to be opened when electrification took place. The 4 Pelton wheels, driven by water dropping over 840 meters from a lake lying in the mountains high above the valley floor, are together capable of supplying 44 megawatts. This appears to be a very large output, but it's necessary because a train hauled by 2 or 3 locomotives can draw as much as 12 megawatts at a time. The plant can react quickly to load demands made when trains are starting up or stopping. and the flow valves, which regulate the water at 1,200 pounds per square inch, are now controlled by computers, although the generating equipment dates from the opening of the power station. The control room contains the very latest technology, which monitors the needs of the line and the distribution of power along the route. The Ritom funicular played a vital part in the construction of the generating complex. It's the steepest public cable railway in Switzerland, with a gradient of 1 in 1.1, raising us 786 meters up the side of the valley. The large pipes running beside the track take 7.4 cubic meters of water per second from the lake down to the turbine hall. Just a short walk from the top station, Lake Ritom's beautiful setting and magnificent views make it a popular venue for hikers, who appreciate its scenic beauty as much as we benefit from its practical role in powering our train along the Gotthard line. We passed through a short tunnel, then crossed the river Ticino for the last time. This stone-clad reinforced concrete structure replaced the original iron girder bridge in 1953. The summit of the south ramp is at Airolo, where the railway parts company from both road and river. We've gained over 900 meters in height during the 119 kilometers we've traveled since the start of our journey in Chiasso. Airolo, at 1,142 meters above sea level, is the highest station belonging to the SBB. Here our train plunges into the 15-kilometer-long Gotthard Tunnel, the third longest in Switzerland today after the Simplon and Furka tunnels, and the longest in Europe at the time of its construction. This was the ultimate challenge for the engineering skills of Louis Favre, who was faced with the task of driving a bore deep under the main Alpine Massif. Work began at both ends of the tunnel in the autumn of 1872, but problems with flooding and rockfalls and the extreme temperatures at the face meant that progress was slow, even though almost 2,000 men were at work on the excavation. In 1873, two revolutionary techniques were introduced. A compressed air plant was installed at either end of the tunnel, which filled the tanks of the special locomotives used to carry workers and spoil to and from the rock face. The plant also powered the latest Somae drilling machines, and for the first time in Switzerland, the newly invented dynamite was used for blasting. In 1879, Louis Favre died while working in the tunnel, so did not see the breakthrough achieved on the 29th of February, 1880, 8 years after the start of the work. Despite the great length of the excavations, the alignment was only a few centimeters adrift. The opening of the line took a further 21 months to achieve, as a secure lining had to be installed. The first passenger train ran through the tunnel in June 1882. At Airolo station, a handsome monument by Vincenzo Vela was erected to honor the men who died working on the tunnel, while in Gershenen Cemetery, a memorial to Louis Favre has the place of honor. But the bore itself remains the most impressive of all legacies. The railway was the only north-south connection in winter for almost a century. Then in 1957, mindful of the increase in motor travel, the SBB introduced special car transporter trains through the tunnel, hauled mainly by AE35 locomotives. These trains ran successfully for more than 20 years, until the opening of the motorway tunnel in 1980. During the summer of 1994, the service was briefly restored following a bad accident which closed the road tunnel, and borrowed BLS transporters with RE66 locomotives were assisted by the old AE47s, not seen at work on the Gotthard line for many years. After emerging from the tunnel at Göschenen, our train will make its way through the beautiful scenery of this region towards Lucerne, before leaving Switzerland at Basel to continue to its final destination in Germany. However, we stop here at the Alpine Divide, a fitting climax to our memorable journey along the spectacular southern ramp of the Gotthard line.